Hi everybody, welcome to Cooking at Home with Create Hospitality. I'm Lauren and today's snack is a Moroccan power bowl. This bowl is fantastic because it's both a comfort food but also super healthy. It's full of warm flavors and we're going to show you today on the show how to make a balanced bowl. A balance between vegetables, greens, protein, and grains. Okay, so to get things started, we actually were able to make some quinoa and some of our ingredients ahead of time. Everything we've made here is actually super high on the alkaline scale. It's super healthy for you and really great for you if you're trying to work out and maintain a healthy diet. So we actually started here with quinoa as our main grain. We've simply steamed some quinoa, which is 2 parts water to 1 part grain, and now it's just nice and fluffy. Make sure not to keep it too high on the stove once it's reducing the water down so it doesn't burn on the bottom. So with each layer that we're going to add to this bowl, we're going to make sure that it has flavor, so you don't need a ton of dressing or extra salt. So each layer will be flavored individually. So we're going to add a little bit of extra virgin olive oil, or you can use any nut or seed oil of your choice. About a teaspoon here, just to add a little bit of richness and flavor to the quinoa. Then we're going to add a little bit of salt and fresh pepper. Great. And then we're going to add half a lemon. I love to add the lemon to the quinoa. The acidity is going to balance well with everything else in the dish. The dish that has those kind of warm, rich flavors to it. And it'll make it super delicious. So, juice of half a lemon. Okay, great. And we're going to kind of mix this up. And we're going to add a little bit of herbs here as well. So on the counter here, I have parsley and some cilantro, but I'm going to add a little bit of just parsley in here for now. So I'm going to grab a little fresh piece of this bunch that I have sitting on the counter, pull it into a little ball here, and I'm going to run my knife through the herbs. Okay, great. Let's pick this all up, bring it into the quinoa. And now something that was maybe super plain and less flavorful at the beginning is now has a lot of flavor to it. So we have lemon, salt, olive oil, and pepper in here. So great. So that's going to be our base for the dish. If you prefer to use couscous or brown rice, that would also work as well. Here we roasted in the oven some butternut squash and also some cauliflower. These are going to be a great hearty elements to this bowl. They are 2 good vegetables that are actually going to be that also last a long time in the refrigerator. So if you want to keep some of these ingredients around for a few days, they're definitely going to last. We blanched some kale here, and we also made a 7.5-minute egg to add some protein. So we'll show you how to make this on another episode. Basically, you put an egg straight from the refrigerator into a pot of boiling water for 6.5 minutes. After 6.5 minutes, you take it out and put it into an ice bath for 1 minute, and then you take it out to let it cool. Then you roll the shell and carefully peel the outside off, and then you should get a little bit of texture around the outside of the yolk and a really jammy center. I'm also putting some avocado in this as well to add a little bit of creaminess to this dish and add more protein. One other ingredient we're going to use here is actually some chickpeas. We're going to flavor these a little bit. I just took some from the can today to keep things simple, but we're just going to use a little bit of olive oil here and then some seasoning. So we use cumin and turmeric on the cauliflower and squash, so we're going to put it on the chickpeas as well. So a little bit of cumin on here and a little bit of turmeric. If you like garlic powder, if you like paprika, anything of that's kind of warm tones is going to work really well on this. I'm going to toss the chickpeas up, and again we're going to add just a touch of salt to make sure that every piece of this is seasoned. Okay, great. So we have almost all of our ingredients ready to go here. We just need to make our dressing. So we're actually going to be making a tahini dressing. This is basically like a sesame paste, and it's going to add some richness and great texture to the dressing. If you prefer to use a veganese, you can do that as well. So we're going to start with 1 heaping tablespoon of the tahini. Great. And then we're going to go back and use the second half of that lemon. So now we have something creamy, we have something that is acidic. You can use red wine vinegar also, or apple cider vinegar if you don't have a fresh lemon. Okay, set this aside. And now we're gonna add salt. And a little bit of fresh black pepper. And now the olive oil. A few tablespoons of olive oil. Great. And now with our immersion blender, we're gonna blend everything all together. You can also add some garlic to this if you want it to be garlicky. You could add some fresh chives to that. That would work really well. So, kind of put our electric emulsifier in here so we get a nice consistency. All right, great, that's done. Go ahead and set this aside. Now we're gonna get ready to build our bowl. Okay. So quinoa is always going to be the base for the bowl. So if you want to have something like this actually for breakfast or for lunch, and you want to use less grain depending on what how active you were that day, you can definitely do that. I'm going to do in equal parts to everything, but you can definitely change up how much kale to greens to veggies you put on your bowl depending on what you're feeling like for the day. The next thing is we're going to come over here with the rest of the ingredients. We have the squash and the cauliflower, again roasted in the oven with a little bit of turmeric and with cumin. Okay. A little bit of this blanched kale. You can use spinach or Swiss chard or arugula if you like as well. Let's go ahead and add the chickpeas here. And then I'm going to go ahead and add the 7.5-minute egg. So what's great about this is each piece has already been seasoned, so we don't need to add a ton of dressing or anything else on it. So with the avocado, you want to make sure that you have one that's super ripe, and we're just going to peel the skin back, kind of revealing the avocado. I can never get enough of avocado. It's one of my favorite things to eat. I think I eat them every day. And just make some thin slices in the avocado. And you can just separate the pieces. Kind of place that right on top. Okay, great. So then for texture and crunch and a little more protein, we're going to add some almonds here. Raw or roasted, whatever you prefer. A little bit of golden raisins. So we have sweet, we have savory, we have herbs, we have lemon. And then to kick things up, I'm going to add a little bit of these pickled onions that I actually made. I just use a little bit of red wine vinegar. I'm going to put a few pieces right here on the kale. Okay. Move this out of the way. And the last piece is going to be dressing and herbs. So let's get some of this fresh cilantro and a little bit of this fresh parsley chopped up. And again, pull it all together. Just chiffonade, making a nice fine chop here on the herbs. If you have dill at home, if you have basil, mint could also work as well, but I love this mix of parsley and cilantro. A little bit of herbs. And the last piece is actually just going to be just to spoon the dressing over the top. Like I said, you don't need much because everything's already seasoned. All right, and there you go. So within just a few minutes, obviously, if you have all the ingredients prepped, you can have something really nice and balanced. This is great for a dinner, for a lunch. If you want to make it for your family, they can make their own bowl. So it's a little bit like a choose your own adventure. Hope you guys enjoyed this Moroccan grain bowl, and we'll see you next time. Thanks so much.